For the first time in 46 years, the best of the best in the Sports Car Club of America return to the West Coast for the club's annual one-race battle for the title of champion in 27 classes. This year's three-day duel for the medals brings over 400 racers to California's Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca on the stunning Monterey Peninsula. It's time to seriously step up at the 2014 and 51st SCCA National Championship Runoffs.
Let's get an update. Cars rolling out of the paddock. Back to Hayward.
H production rolling off the grid onto Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca. This is the small bore production class. Production tubs, race-built cars, high-strung four-cylinder engines. This was once the class of the Spridget, the Sprites and the Midgets. A couple of years ago, the Tin Tops invaded, and now there's a great mix of cars in this class, H production.
All right, we'll see how they run as we get ready to go behind the safety car here at Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca. Field forming up. Boy, you know, again, cars that I can remember watching at Lime Rock as a kid in the late 60s and thinking, how cool would it be to be out there in one of those cars? They were wicked fast then. They're even faster now.
Look, right up the white one there is Mom's BMW 1600.
Yeah.
And then the yellow one's a VW Golf. I started my career in SCCA Pro Racing's Volkswagen Cup in 1985.
Well, go back even further, describing those days at Lime Rock, the 510, the Datsun 510. Bob Sharp's shop was about 6 miles from our shop in Connecticut.
I think Paul Newman was racing one of those.
Racing one of those cars with Bob back then.
Just 6 miles away.
Yeah.
Were you down there hanging out?
We used to press my nose up against the glass. I mean, we were oval track racers at that time, and so I'd read about Bob and Newman in National Speed Sport News, and thought, wow, they're right down there, and I know where the dealership is. I can go down and look inside. See, and Bob was a wonderful guy. Got to know Scott at a young age, and it's just been a cool thing to observe over the years. So epic cars and cars with a ton of history at Lime Rock Park, among others. So, all right, field forming up. They will start 2 by 2 by 2. Lawrence Loshak on pole in the 1. Stephen Hussey alongside in the 37. There's one of the BMWs, the 1600 we talked about there. As the field gets ready to go for 20 laps or 40 minutes, depending on what happens here. We've got 21 cars, Randy Popes. This could be an action-packed little event here.
I think it will. We sure have a lot of variety. These top 3 cars are all front-wheel drives, for goodness sakes. The MG Midget is the fastest rear-drive car on the grid.
Take a look at that Toyota Yaris with the white 99 and the orange and black striping. You remember that color scheme, I know.
Oh yeah, Toyota Motorsports, right?
Absolutely. All-American racers.
Oh yeah, Dan Gurney's Toyota teams. It's kind of a retro paint job.
It is.
Isn't it? That's Jason Isley. He's a big autocross champion. I think 4 championships in Mazda RX-8.
And the 23 car, denoted as the brave little toaster, Carl Young from the Tom Leppard Associates on the Jeff's race team. And a cool thing to watch as well. Now, those typically run in B-Spec. This is a little different version of the car in H production, but still cool to see that car out there.
Yeah, it's pretty far up the grid, so he's running well. And I remember Chris Albin in the yellow car. Could have been the same car. It used to be an ITB car in the Southeast.
Could be.
And he was very successful at that. The guy's good.
Got a sharp eye, that number 3. That is an Earnhardt Tribute 3. That is the font style used by Richard Childress Racing. All right, green flag about to go in the air. Lawrence Loshak from Grafton, Wisconsin on the pole in that CRX, the red and black machine, alongside his Hussey. Isley back there in the second row of the 99 with Ron Bartel. Green flag is in the air. 20 laps of action to settle the national championship. And H production off to turn 2, and Loshak has the early lead.
Get inside in that midget. Stick it under that CRX. Come on, use that handling.
Jason Isley in the 99. That's the Toyota Yaris up to second spot behind Loshak.
Look how tall that car looks. That can't be good. But it is
Jones
modern.
there, no, and that BMW 1600 contact between Jones and one of the open-topped cars. That's probably the MG Midget there of Ron Bartel from Marbury, New Hampshire, the 4 car. It is.
Oh, too bad. He was a top qualified midget and rear drive car. Got tangled up. Sorry to see that.
Some body damage at the very least there. We'll see what happens. Meantime, the top 3 continue to skate away. No problem at all for Loshak, who's out in front.
Look at Jason Isley in that Yaris, challenging for the lead between those CRXs. The front drive cars working it at Mazda Raceway, Laguna Seca.
Jason Isley staying right with him, though. Isley saying, hey, I am your equal in speed. We're going to fight this thing out.
Anybody who can win in autocross knows how to drive.
Absolutely.
That just guarantees it a national championship, especially through the corkscrew. It's kind of like a vertical autocross.
Yeah, no question about it. That's a great idea and a great way to do it. Spent a lot of time autocrossing years ago, Randy. And if you have a desire to start out in competition, that's a great way to start to learn the craft, because boy, it is all about your ability as a driver and how you make those cars handle. So
that's how I started.
Yeah, and it's a great way to learn, no question.
Great way to learn without wrecking your car.
Very true, for the most part.
For the most part.
The 99 of Isley in second spot. Just a couple of car lengths separate the top two as they are pulling away here in H production.
Look at that. Isley must have the setup, because he's looking strong. He's bringing the heat.
Isley qualifying at a 1:45.25 pace. He was about half a second slower in qualifying, a full second slower than Loshak, but it doesn't show here at the moment.
Not yet, but as we've seen, these 35-minute races tend to be like endurance races. So much can happen.
Well, as you pointed out on Friday when we were first bringing you the action here from the 2014 SCCA National Championship Runoffs, tire pressures, tire choice, car setup. Even though it's a relatively short race, things can change a lot over the course of 40 minutes in these races. Let's take one more look at what happened as the field came to green as we watch the top two exit turn 5 and start up the hill towards 6, 7, and the corkscrew. Take you back and show you how things got going here in this one.
Oh, we've got my mom's BMW 1600. It's trying to stick it under the MG midget, and that little midget corners so well, the BMW just can't hold the inside, drifts out into him, and tears result.
Yeah, Gordon Jones in that BMW 1600, and Ron Bartel in the MG midget getting tangled there, coming out of turn 3, and some damage to Bartel's open top midget. We'll see if both cars able to continue. Bartel had to gather himself up and restart. Certainly gave up a ton of track position after qualifying fourth. Lawrence Loshak, meantime, continuing to show the way here in the early laps at Mazda Raceway, Laguna Seca.
They're glued together. Isley trying to work that draft, because you can see that Toyota pushes a lot more air than that little CRX does.
Two very different approaches to speed in H production.
Yeah, and the CRX looking strong on the straight.
About the only thing they have in common is they're both front drive cars.
They are both front drivers, and they're both modern. And here's the historical part of the class.
Yeah. Mike Cummings there in the 33, Mike Miller in the 64, Patrick Casey in the 12, Gary Whitman in the 38, all fighting for position on the front straightaway.
And this track is ideal for those cars. This is a handling track, and it's going to suit them better, but right now it looks like the newer technology is the way to go. Unfortunately, we lost Bartel there early on. We'll have to see if he can keep running and move it back up through the field.
Carl Young, 9th there in the 23 car. Cummings in the first of those sprites is 10th in the 33. Then Miller in the 64, Olesen in the 81, and Andrew Wright in that Triumph Spitfire. The 12 on pit road with problems. That's
Patrick Casey from Hawaii.
Exactly, one of the Huffaker prepped cars, an Austin Healey Sprite with that distinctive front opening hood, bodywork.
Chris Albin going underneath Mom's BMW 1600 in turn 5. Gordon Jones in the BMW gets past. Looks like he's still okay from the contact.
5th and 6th in play right there. The 3 car making a move to go to the top 5.
Got a little midget on his tail trying to get even.
Tom Tuttle there in the 11. So you've got 5th, 6th, and 7th up for grabs.
Let's see now, Rick, is
trouble.
Still running. Oh,
Loshak,
no.
I think, has got a problem. The Yaris, the car that was running second, Jason Isley on the outside into the dirt to make the pass. Loshak right back at him. Isley got a heck of a run down the hill out of the corkscrew. I thought Loshak had a problem there, but Isley going for the lead. He's got it.
Let's see if he does that every lap. No, I think he was trying to avoid the CRX there of Loshak, and nice job of car control. I mean, he's got I think a career in rally if the road racing doesn't work out for him.
Loshak on the outside, heading to 2, wants the lead back. Loshak may have missed a shift coming down through the corkscrew.
Look at that CRX go down the straight.
Wow. Outside in will be the move by Loshak to try to retake the point as they head toward 3.
Wow.
Nicely done.
First, second. And they line up back again.
Steve Hussey running 3rd in the other CRX that started on the front row. Loshak back to the point.
Yeah, you can see that Isley's Yaris benefits from the draft when he's behind the CRX. And when you turn him around, the CRX has got a clear advantage because now he's using his power multiplied by the draft off that tall Yaris.
Loshak starting to open up a lead just a little bit now as we climb the hill out of turn 5.
Wonder if that shift issue is going to turn up again. That's something to make you nervous about later in the race.
Absolutely.
Isley doing a heck of a job just to miss him and then drift that Yaris through the dirt.
We were watching another part of the action there. We cut back to it just in time to see Isley's car off in the dirt, him a little bit sideways, getting back on the road, and it may well have been an evasive maneuver if Loshak came down the hill and just missed an upshift.
That's what we're hearing. That something happened to that CRX and Isley had to avoid him. Because I don't see Jason taking that same line this lap.
No, he does not want to plow up any more of the hillside here at Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca, I'm sure of that.
Loshak was right back on him too, trying to take a shot at him in the very next corner.
Loshak is your leader out of the final corner here, working lap number 4. 16 to go this time by. Whatever Loshak's issue was, it seems to have evaporated in the very warm sunshine here on this Sunday afternoon. Final day of the 2014 SCCA National Championship Runoffs.
These two Japanese front drivers are dominating this class at the moment, and the Yaris is benefiting from a tow from the CRX.
0.2 of a second is the gap right now, and they've opened up 7 seconds over the third place car of Hussey.
Wow, 7 seconds. Yeah, CRX with a Honda Civic Coupe there from the mid-'80s. The CRX from the early 90s.
Battling it out for third. That's Hussey in the orange and white 37. That's the CRX, and then Greg Gopper from Wisconsin in car number 15. That's the Civic SI. That's even more of a vintage ride.
These are the guys who are at home every night. Instead of watching the evening TV, they're out in the garage wrenching on those race cars. Good running little pieces right here, both of them.
Absolutely.
Hondas make good race cars.
They do.
The engines just seem to adapt well to racing.
Well, several of the brands, and Honda's at the forefront of this, through HPD, they support amateur racing heavily. Mazda does as well. And it's cool to see it. I mean, these are companies that are run by racers in a lot of cases. And they appreciate the sport. They understand what it means to selling street cars, to developing street cars. Just the fact that you get to test your engineering, test what your product line is on the racetrack means a lot to both those brands.
The little Civic Coupe, some people call it a wagon. You got a little front bias brake lockup going into the corkscrew there, causing him to lose a couple seconds. Couldn't get turned in the right place. Had to square it off too much and slow down to get in through the corner. So the CRX now pulls a little bit of a gap. The Civic's gonna not have the draft benefit that it did. Those little CRXs are slippery.
Oh, they are. They are, with that sloping rear roof and kind of a nicely rounded nose, not a barn door nose by any means. So Hussey pulling away in third, and fourth spot continues to be Gopper in the 16 car.
Here's the British contingent.
Yeah.
Good looking bug eye Sprite.
The 4 car, back on Bartel, back on the racetrack now, trailing the 33 as they fight for position. This is 10th and 11th. Bartel getting pointed in the right direction in the 4. Make it 9th and 10th as they pass Carl Young. So this is a fight for 9th.
That's good. I'm glad to see that he's still running. Getting a race in, you know, in spite of his misfortune on the first lap.
33 car, Mike Cummings out of Martinez, California.
Those bug eyes, when did they stop making those?
Oh my gosh, 63?
62?
I was going to say somewhere
63.
in that. Yeah. Somewhere back in the day.
These cars are very similar underneath the skin.
Yeah.
It looks like Bartel's car maybe a little bit more highly modified. He's got some flared fenders. Looks a little wider even though they are on the same chassis.
A little more speed out of the corner as well. Bartel able to make the pass on the 33. Now remember, Bartel qualified 4th. So that's a very strong race car. He's obviously very good behind the wheel. So give Bartel another position there. Move him to 9th in front of Mike Cummings.
He's on the comeback trail.
He is. You get in this situation, Randy, and you've been through this 1,000 times, it seems. 5 laps on the board, 15 to go. You got plenty of time, but you really need a full course yellow to give yourself another shot. And in this brand of racing, in our 20-lap features here, rarely happens. We've seen a couple today, but it's not something you can count on.
That's for sure. It would be a big help to Bartel because he has the speed to run a lot further up this grid. He's just going to have to try to pick them off one at a time. He's got his GoPro mounted on the roll bar there now. very common to see. I don't think there's a car that does not run a GoPro out here.
Or a Replay XD, our personal camera of choice for those items. But yeah, that type of camera, very, very positive, and certainly something that you need to have. It helps you learn if you're coming through the ranks as a driver. I mean, teams use it to kind of figure out what the car is doing. Drivers use it for coaching and all sorts of things.
And GoPro is the official action
That's
camera
right.
of the SCCA, offering an award for the hero move of the race.
Absolutely.
In this race. And so far, I think Jason's dirt track avoidance of Loshak was pretty heroic.
It was a very good move. No question about it. Loshak, your Tire Rack Pole Award winner. Watch this battle continuing now. This is the 4-car Bartel swinging to the inside of the 38 to pick up a position here. Nicely done.
Oh, yeah, he's got a good running car.
8th spot now for Ron Bartel as he is on the comeback trail after that lap 1 incident with the BMW. Bartel diving into turn 5, starting to pull away again from the 38. Gary Whitman's car, he's from Costa Mesa here in California.
Bartel looks to have a more sophisticated roll cage there, though, trying to reduce the drag by having it just over the driver. That's a choice that you can make.
Sure. It's kind of it looks like kind of a drag racing cage almost, kind of what you might see on an altered or something like that. Just a little bit of a cage surrounding the driver with down bars across, and nicely engineered, it appears.
And Gary Whitman's car looking like more traditional car.
Exactly.
I'll bet that midget has been on the track for 35, 40 years.
Could well be the case.
This white car up front there, Bartel, has the later model nose on it. Makes it a little smoother as the leaders lap a bug eye there in the back.
There you go. Loshak in the 1, still out in front. The 99 of Isley running second. They're separated by just not even 2/10 at this point. Good battle here as we put 7 laps on the board, coming toward halfway.
Isley still plugged into Loshak, but I think Jason Isley needs the draft to be able to keep up.
It seemed that way when Loshak was able to quickly move back around the 99 and retake the lead.
I'll say that I think Jason Isley has got that little Yaris working pretty well.
Oh, somebody's off. Looked like a Mini in turn 6 going way off the road and kind of hiding back there in the corner of the runoff area.
Hiding in safety.
We saw the yellow fender kind of flash by.
Yes, I think he must have had a mechanical. There he is down there. That's too bad.
Through the gap in the wall, yeah.
Yeah, but really smart. Pulled it out of the way somewhere safe, and so we don't go yellow, which is too bad for Bartel. It would have been, the British team should have got together there. No.
Team strategy? What?
Shouldn't even suggest.
Are you suggesting
that the Mini park right in the middle of the road cause a yellow so the midget can keep up? No, I'm not suggesting that at all.
Those things never happen in this sport. Nobody would ever think of that.
The British have
leaders
to stick
out
together,
of the final corner, heading to the stripe to put another lap on the board. This will be 8 down, 12 to go.
Isley doing all he can, but it looks like all he can is just enough to keep up. It's going to be tough to get around unless whatever that issue was that Loshak had resurfaces.
And it could. You never know if it was a fuel pickup issue or something like that, or a shifter problem. We've had that happen a couple of times this week in these SCCA National Championship runoffs. Battling for position here, the 38 and the 33 outside just the bottom half of the top 10. Cummings in the 33, Whitman in the 38. Gary Whitman has the advantage, runs in 9th right now, and Cummings is 10th.
A little bit of smoke coming off the back of the Whitman car there. Not unusual for the MGs.
No, not at all. Not at all. When you were waxing poetic about the Fiat X19, I was going to, my uncle, who is long since deceased, was the original Fiat dealer in the state of Connecticut. And one of my jobs in high school was to deliver cars for him.
Wow.
Back in the days of the 124 and the 850. So it was a lot of fun to do that, except you kind of needed another vehicle to follow you to pick up the parts sometimes that would end up scattered on the road.
Fiat 850 Spider, my very first car.
Really?
And we got a Honda Fit right in the middle of a couple of MGs. This is so funny to see these cars together.
Yeah.
The 50 years of technology and purpose.
Differing approaches to this sport, no doubt about it.
These midgets like the grandfather of the Miatas that we have seen so many of racing this weekend.
Mike Miller in the 64 running 11th. Carl Young in the 23 back in 13th. The battle raging. Jerry Olesen in the 81 has moved around. Those two cars now. Olesen give him another spot. Looks like he has advanced to 11th at the 64, trying to get there. Miller in the 64 sits 11th. Then you've got Young in the 23. the 81 of Olesen, and Olesen just trying to make some headway here and get around the Honda Fit.
That Fit had got a run on him.
Yeah.
It was that passing attempt that held back the midget, and the Fit got a clean run through turn 5 and used it to go right by him.
11th, 12th, and 13th up for grabs here as we approach halfway in the H production feature.
These MGs are not always easy to keep running. The parts are old. They get amazing horsepower out of literally antique technology.
Yeah.
But they break a lot. And modern cars like this VW Golf here can go and go and go. They can even run a stock transmission and a more stock-based engine with a big restrictor, and it reduces the cost and work, and the parts are available in any junkyard. It's one of the reasons why we see this great variety of cars in H production.
Running 5th is that 3-car, Chris Albin from Maryland Heights, Missouri. Gordon Jones in the BMW 1600 right with him in 6th position, just a 10th or so behind. So 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, all in play. Tom Tuttle in the 7th spot in car number 11, and then Bartel up to 8th, closing in on this group. There's Bartel back there, about to come under the Mother's Bridge.
Yes, and we've got another midget being followed by a small cloud of smoke. Don't worry, folks, that's perfectly normal.
Absolutely. Nothing to see here. Keep it moving, keep it moving. There you go. The battle between the Bug-Eye here and the midget still going on. The 33 car back a few more spots as we keep an eye on timing and scoring here in the broadcast booth. Gary Whitman, Mike Cummings fighting it out for 9th and 10th. There's your 5th, 6th, and 7th place cars.
These MG midgets and sprites still popular because of this same story, the lightweight.
Yeah.
And their rear drive, great fun cars to drive. So we see them still running here even though they're 50, almost 60 years old.
I was going to say long since eligible for vintage competition, but very competitive here.
This VW Golf is from the mid-'80s.
Yeah.
That's 30 years ago. Don't look now. And that's the very model of car that I started my career in. So it's nostalgia for me. Whoa, the BMW gets sideways.
The 11 trying to close the gap. Tom Tuttle trying to move by the 2 car and pick off 6th position. As the 5th place car of Allen, that GTI, continues to roll ahead and starts to put a little gap on 6th and 7th now, about a 1.5 seconds to the good. Halfway for the field that time by. Leader seeing the halfway indication. 10 down, 10 to go. Lawrence Loshak 1.3 seconds in the lead now over Jason Isley in the Toyota Yaris, the 99.
These MG midgets are a good 200 pounds lighter than the cars they're racing against here. And so it'll be good for their tires.
Yeah.
And perhaps later in the race, we'll see more and more of that sideways kind of action, maybe a little more understeer out of the Golf, which is a front drive. And Tuttle may be able to pick off these two as the race rolls on. We've been green so far. It's actually turned into a pretty darn warm day.
It has.
With full sun, there's a lot of track temp heating up those tires. Look how the midget catches that BMW in the backside of the course through these corners.
Up the hill toward the corkscrew. 5th place car of Albin continuing to hold sway here over Gordon Jones of the BMW. Tom Tuttle in the MG midget, 5th, 6th, and 7th. Under pretty much of a blanket, heading down into the left-hander to start things in the corkscrew.
Several drivers have talked about the importance of torque going up that hill to the corkscrew. And we could see the Golf and the BMW get a gap on the MG up the hill. And then the MG catches them coming down the hill. This section of corners, looking them right on the tail of that BMW. And hopefully you won't, maybe take a shot at him?
Maybe.
Kind of getting in the mirrors.
When you're driving cars like this that don't have a ton of horsepower, Andy, and picking your spot, figuring out where your best opportunity to pass is really a case of a lot of strategy. You've got to think through this.
It's a plan.
Yeah.
Anytime you're driving the car and you're not leading, you need to be looking at and thinking about how the car ahead of you is running. As the BMW takes a look at Albin.
To the inside, Albin washes way up the racetrack in that 3 car. Left the door wide open, and 5th place changes hands. Gordon Jones has the spot. Here comes Albin, though, right back at him on the other side, and manages to retake it.
Right back at him. Maybe Albin has a braking issue.
Maybe.
He just did not seem to be able to get down into that corner.
Or perhaps he realized he was already on the outside. He might as well give the 2 plenty of room and avoid any possible contact.
Look at these two being eaten up by that MG midget. I think my prediction on the tires may be coming true here.
Tom Tuttle back there in the 11, the black MG, the open top car into turn 5.
Taking a shot at that Golf again. Chris Albin holding him off, but right now the midget is right in it. He wants a piece.
Albin back into 5th spot, gave it up briefly over in turn 2 to Gordon Jones. Jones yielding the spot right back to the 3 car of Albin.
And Tuttle's midget, he's leading the British brigade here, the furthest up the ranks. And if this race stays green, he might have a shot at these guys. Look at that BMW sliding around in the corkscrew.
Neat to see. Chris Albin in the Volkswagen.
There you go.
Car number 3, and the 11, Tuttle goes by Jones to pick up 6th position.
That's that lightweight.
Yeah.
And that well-balanced little sports car. But that BMW may get him back down the straightaway.
Certainly could. Certainly could.
Oh!
Here he comes, Jones, with a dive bomb move in 11. Closes the door on Tuttle in the 11 car.
Wow, that was aggressive.
It was.
A little bit of tire smoke. Hopefully he didn't flat spot that inside tire.
Grab the brakes hard. You'll do that sometimes, certainly. Ron Bartel right back there. We've kind of documented his moves to get back into contention here after Bartel had that early contact with Jones.
He's coming.
Bartel
he's
qualifying 4th.
Got that little blue cloud of smoke chasing him around the track. Look at the midget here. Tuttle trying to come back.
Action for 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th in the SCCA runoffs at Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca. Final day of action in 2014.
Woo.
Tuttle, Jones off the course. Tuttle back by him in the 11. These two swapping the position.
The harder they race, the better it is for the MG midget because he's lighter. And then here comes Bartel.
How many times have we said this weekend you see a situation like this in your rearview mirror? You say, thanks, fellas, I am going to take advantage of this and pull away from you. And there's Bartel in the 4. A little bit of smoke showing perhaps out
Bartel
of that
has
machine.
caught Gordon Jones.
Yes, he has.
Who was part of the problem early on.
Exactly. Exactly. And that, I think, was just a racing incident. It did not appear as though anybody did anything untoward toward the other driver.
Shows the pace that Bartel has, though.
Absolutely.
He's come back from that spin, and he's reeled in the BMW of Gordon Jones. He's got some smoke trailing off behind the car, but frankly, all weekend that's really fairly common for MGs. I don't think I'd worry about it too much just yet.
Well, here's a time comparison, a lap time comparison for you. Bartel's best lap of the day at 1:47.8. Gordon Jones' best lap of the day at 1:48.8. So Bartel being held up by that BMW.
And he's in there now. Wow, down the inside with an aggressive brake move.
So Ron Bartel to 7th as they exit turn 11 and come up the front straightaway to put lap 13 on the board.
This is an interesting horsepower comparison up the front straight. Bartel getting the run off the corner, and then here comes the BMW with that 1600cc motor.
Down into turn 2.
No, not much of an impression.
Not at all. Bartel with the rear bumper cap on the MG midget kind of wrinkled a little bit from the contact there, but other than that, just a little bit of cosmetic damage really is all you could say. I was concerned they might have caused a problem to the aero in Bartel's car, but did not seem to be the case at all. Seems to be running nice and smooth at this point.
And Tom Tuttle all over that Chris Albin Golf.
Absolutely. Tuttle in 6th and the 11 car trying to get around the 3 and take over a top 5 position. Lawrence Loshak continues to be your race leader. He's got a 2.5 seconds over Jason Isley in the Toyota Yaris. As here comes Tuttle trying to take 5th spot away. Let's step away as we're just past halfway in H production here at Mazda Raceway, Laguna Seca.
The 2014 SCCA National Championship Runoffs are being brought to you in HD by Mazda. Conviction, creativity, courage. This is the Mazda way. And by Hankook, driving emotion.
Some people go to enormous lengths in the name of safety, like the inventor of the flame-resistant racing suit, Bill Simpson. Courageous engineering is also the Mazda way, and why the 2014 Mazda 3 has an available class-exclusive suite of 8 safety features and a top safety rating. Because when it comes to safety, you can never go too far. This is the 2014 Mazda 3. What do you drive?
This is Kenny. Kenny is a dentist, but he races autocross on the weekends. But he's not thinking about his tires right now. Kenny buys all his tires from TireRack.com. Using their exclusive test track reviews, he knows he's always getting the right tires for his car. But Kenny's not thinking about tires right now. Kenny's thinking, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. This is awesome. TireRack.com, proud sponsor of the Tire Rack SCCA National Solo Program.
The machines and their manufacturers span the planet. This is no spec series. Diversity breeds excellence and brings battle. Ride with the best and test the iconic circuits of North America. No pit stops, no quarter. The world watches and knows this is how racing should be.
While we were away, a lot of drama here at Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca and H Production. We'll reset and show you what has happened here. Lawrence Loshak, Jason Isley continue to lead. There's the 11 of Tom Tuttle. He has moved around the 3 car because that car is no longer in action. Chris Albin running into some problems. The Volkswagen Golf done for the day. We've got a replay to show you here, and then we had another incident take place as well. Here's Albin in the yellow car as they come up the hill. Bartel and Tuttle here trying to get around the 3 as they hit to the corkscrew.
The Golf obviously limping at this point.
Gordon Jones there in the white BMW also. Albin off the pace to the outside, has to let the other 3 cars go by. So Tuttle and Bartel pick up positions. Tuttle now into 5th. Bartel moving up would put him 6th, I believe. And we'll see what happens.
Whoa,
Bartel now being scored back
corner.
in 9th spot, though, so something apparently happened to Bartel. So this is Tuttle, Bartel, and Jones. Bartel off and around, a little too wide coming off 11. Laid those tires out onto the asphalt outside the curbing, and it was enough to turn him around.
Rick, saw him offline back there in turn 10, and then got it all the way turned around in turn 11. So his handling may have been going off.
Could be, and that could be a case of tire wear. You press him too hard too soon, trying to charge back up through the field.
And I imagine he's turned around and got it going again. I hope so anyway.
2 spins today for Ron Bartel. He had been flying, trying to get back up into contention, was closing in on a top 5 spot when that happened in turn 11. Up front, still Loshak here in car number 1. That's the black and red Honda Civic CRX. Right behind him is Jason Isley in the 99 from Coto del Caso, California. That is a Toyota Yaris. Bartel back on the racetrack. The 33 and the 38 have been dueling for position just about all day long. Mike Cummings in the 33 is 7th, Gary Whitman is 8th, and now Ron Bartel in 9th and trying to move back into 8th spot.
He is definitely going to get the Sunoco Hard Charger Award if you allow him to total up the passing the same cars 2 or 3 times in the race.
He should certainly get the Determination Award,
yes.
if nothing else. I won't take no for an answer trophy. Should go to Bartel, I would say.
How about the Mr. Excitement trophy?
That too, he can certainly do that.
Because the car still looks very healthy.
It does.
He's right back at it. I'm really sorry to see Chris Albin go in the VW Golf. Going to have to go yell at him for making a liar out of me after talking about how reliable the newer cars like the VW will be. And then the MG midgets are all running great.
Albin's back on the racetrack, and whether it popped out of gear. Now, Randy, you were saying you could run these cars with a stock gearbox. I'm wondering if perhaps
certainly,
maybe the shifter. You've seen weird things happen, like the shift lever coming out. I mean, all kinds of strange things can happen. He seems to be more or less on pace now, but if it jumped out of gear, it might have taken him a few seconds to get it back into gear.
Yeah, it's hard to say what it could have been, but whatever it was, it healed itself.
It seems to have.
It's a miracle.
There you go. Physician heal thyself. There you go. The 76 car also in action, a little deeper in the pack now as we kind of reset the scene for you here. These cars running back in 13th and 14th.
You know, Rick, I've actually owned most of these cars.
I was going to say, you must have had the world's biggest garage at some point.
No, I've just had one of everything. Except the Yaris, it's too new. But my ex-wife Linda had a new CRX just like that, the 88 to 91 version. Had the 510, my first autocross car. Enough about me.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Isley. He's still in it.
He is fighting hard to try to stay with the leader, Lawrence Loshak. 4 laps to go. Leader's just flashing by there.
I'll tell you what, they're both having a good race. These guys are both flat out, and they're very close on pace.
Make it 3 laps to go for the top 2. For Loshak and Isley, they've got such a big lead over Steve Hussey in the 37 car. That Hussey has not yet updated scoring to lap 17. So these two will see 2 to go next time by. And if Jason Isley is going to have anything for Lawrence Loshak, it's about time to show your cards, I would say.
Yeah, it is. I like those hot hatches. That Yaris is funky.
It is.
So unique.
It is. And new generation of cars, new generation of passenger cars. Cool that the Sports Car Club of America has a place to race them.
Yeah, you bet. They're what's on the road now.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
I'm sure there's a 16-year-old who's waiting to get a Yaris from the used car ads on Craigslist. Put a cage in it and go.
That would be the way to do it. Loshak, still your leader, qualified on pole in that car number 1. Hayward Wagner telling us from pit road as the cars were coming to the stripe to get going today that Loshak had never even sat in that car until he got out here for the runoffs. He's driven several different race cars this week. Here comes Jason Isley. Looks like he gets a good run out of the corkscrew.
I was just going to say, he had some big speed coming through 9. I think he's getting serious about trying to put some more heat on Loshak. Look at him, right on the bumper.
They will see 2 to go this time by. Lap traffic could well be a factor. It looks like that Honda Fit is up ahead of Carl Young.
Maybe he's decided he's saved the tires long enough. Now let's use what we saved.
Let's get after it. Let's get the whip out, see what we've got here.
Yes.
Loshak in the 1, leading down into turn 2.
The CRX able to pull the Yaris down that straightaway. That's an important part of strategy on this course.
Loshak by a couple of car lengths as they pass by. Less than 2 laps to go. 3/10 is the gap between first and second. Third spot, not the 23. The 23 a lapped car now. Third belongs to Hussey in the 37. Fourth is Greg Goppler in the 15. Couple of Hondas. Tom Tuttle 5th in that 11. We've focused on that battle for 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th for quite some time. Tuttle running 5th. Gordon Jones back to 6th in the BMW. Mike Cummings in the 33. That's one of the sprites in the field. He is 7th. Ron Bartel is 8th. Gary Whitman is 9th. The rest of your top 10 at the moment. Jerry Olison in the 81, one of the sprites in the field. And they are all -1 lap to the lead duo.
And their lap times are close. They're turning almost identical times. In fact, Isley was a little quicker last lap with that great run through 9. And he's right on the ragged edge through 6 as well. Their fastest laps only 2/10 apart, but the Loshak CRX is 2/10 faster on his best lap.
Last time around, however, Loshak ran a 1:46.9, Isley a 1:46.49. So Isley able to pick up that speed, as you mentioned, Randy, and now this time, coming out of the corkscrew, didn't get nearly as good a run down the hill.
You know what? I could tell on the way in that Isley didn't drift it in the way he did last lap. But he still caught that CRX.
Back there one more time, 9, 10, and 11 upcoming. Getting out of the front straightaway. White flag will be in the air this time. Lawrence Loshak trying to defend.
I see a desperation dive bomb coming in turn 11.
I don't think we're going to see anything other than a very tight finish here in H production. Don't think there's anything other than that in the cards.
Don't go anywhere, people, because Isley's going to make a move.
Got lap traffic ahead.
Oh.
Don't know if these leaders will be able to catch those 3 slower cars before the final lap is complete. We will see.
I think they're going to get there,
Rick,
so? And I think it's going to be an important factor.
Lawrence Loshak's racecraft about to be tested here by Jason Isley in the 99.
They'll catch the X19, that's for sure.
Well, no doubt about that.
Happy to see that Fiat still running, though.
He is running. He qualified about 20 seconds off the pace, but he is here competing, and good to have him in the field, no question.
Hopefully he sees the blue flags.
Loshak getting around the lap car. Isley follows on the entrance to 5. Up the hill now.
Oh boy, it's going to get crowded coming down from the corkscrew.
We know that Jason Isley is best coming off the corkscrew, heading toward 9 and 10.
That could be to his advantage. He's within range for sure.
So if you're Lawrence Loshak, what do you want to do here? You want to get in front of this slower traffic, I would think, before you get to the corkscrew, if at all possible.
I want to get a midget between me and that Yaris if I'm Lawrence Loshak.
He will not be able to do it at the entrance, and here's Isley really pressing his case now out of the corkscrew. Isley on the gas.
He set it up early, apex late, got a run, sets up turn 9 really wide and comes out with big speed.
The 64 telling the leaders, go ahead, go to the bottom, I'll get out of your way. For the win in H production, Lawrence Loshak in that red and black Honda, your leader. Isley looks like he's going to try the outside in move onto the front straightaway in the 99.
He's got a run.
Loshak able to stay where he wants to be in the lead. Isley trying to get to the inside and make a drag race out of it. It'll be Lawrence Loshak, your winner in H production. by a tenth or so. 2/10 make it over Jason Isley, who comes home in second spot. Loshak leads him flag to flag. Isley doing a great job after qualifying third, busting to second on the first lap and staying right there with Loshak the whole day.
Oh, for sure. And those drivers were driving hard the whole time.
Yeah.
That was some real racing and some intense driving over the long stint.
Stephen Hussey in third spot. Here he comes off the final corner in that 37, your outside pole sitter in another Honda. He will come up the front straightaway uncontested.
Yeah, a whole different situation.
Really?
Since Greg Galper fell back.
So Hussey it is in third, and he'll be your final podium contender. Greg Galper there in the 15 comes along and waves to the crew. He will take the checkered flag in fourth, and it should be Tom Tuttle coming around next.
Leading the British invasion.
There you go.
The first car from across the pond, well, the other pond. Here he is, good-looking little black midget, Tom Tuttle.
Tuttle in fifth position in car number 11 behind Galper. And then we expect Gordon Jones and Ron Bartel, who certainly had an eventful 20-lap charge. Mike Cummings, Gary Whitman, Mike Miller, if everything holds according to plan. That will be your top 10 in H production here at the 2014 SCCA National Championship Runoffs.
There goes Ron Bartel. He's back up to seventh position. Almost caught Gordon Jones again in the BMW. This whole club was built on those British sports cars in its infancy back in the 50s. Many of them brought back by servicemen after World War II.
Very true. Rod Bartel wins our GoPro Hero of the Race Award for his efforts to get back on track not once but twice and advance through the field and make a show out of it. Bartel doing a great job. A lot of speed in that 4 car. Bartel gets 7th after qualifying 4th but being involved in 2 separate tangles.
Well, I'll tell you what, Bartel's going to have the best GoPro video from this race. I would pick that one to be the one to watch first.
So Loshak brings the 1 car onto pit road. Isley in the 99 in second spot. Loshak waving to crew members and friends and family.
I think I recognize that symbol on the front of the car. It might be the Barber Museum or the Barber Racetrack down in Birmingham, Alabama. Looks familiar.
Could possibly be.
Didn't he say he's from Huntsville? Or
Lawrence Loshak?
Maybe I got the wrong
guy. Lawrence Loshak is from Wisconsin.
Oh, close.
The Prototype Composites 1 car.
Well, there you go.
Lawrence Loshak. The 99 car of Jason Isley in second, that Toyota Yaris. Good battle. It shows you how hard the SCCA works to equalize all the different brands that want to compete in a given category.
Wow, these were close.
You've got a 25-year-old car and maybe a 5-month-old car. 1 and 2. All right, let's get downstairs and hear from our top 3 finishers. Here's Hayward.
Lawrence Loshak, our winner here in H production. Lawrence, let's first talk about the transition from the Formula 1000 race to this. How much time did you have between these races?
Well, I mean, I've raced here before, but man, what do you mean? I can't go take the same line through 10 that I can in the Formula B in this car? Well, I don't know. We knew tire strategy was going to be, a big call, and we aired up the pressures right, for the long race. And in the beginning, it was just a little bit loose, and of course, the transition. Couldn't find my gas pedal under blipping, transitioning from the other car. It was more of a challenge than I thought and what I expected. I mean, last year we drove both classes and it wasn't such a big deal, maybe the time in between, but Isley was there, man, and I knew him being local, he knew this track. It was going to be a race.
Was there any part of you just in disbelief that a Toyota Yaris was chasing you down?
Hey, man, I love sport compacts, especially imports. It's great to see Toyota out there other than the Honda. Everybody has been, doesn't really like our Hondas, but it's nice to see somebody else back there, another import, new cars. There's a Honda Fit in the field too. I mean, man, I'm just glad I went with, my Hoosier tires, and they stuck out for the race. And, ET Reman, High Performance, my crew, Mike Moser, Chris Johnson, my family, my wife. I mean, man, you can't do it alone in this sport, especially in SCCA club racing. It's awesome.
Talk me through those last couple of laps. It looked like Isley was making a run in there on you. Were you losing a little bit of pace? Did he find something?
Well, I think my right rear tire just wasn't in the mood today, especially after that huge slide in 9. The car was really loose there. I had to kind of adjust and kind of just and how loose the car was, I knew the tires were going to go away, and I had to save some, you know. And I just saw Jason back there. I was trying to play the gap, and all of a sudden, man, Jason just started coming, and it was time to put the hammer down. And Jason had a lot for us. Just glad to come out on top.
Well, a big congratulations for you. A national championship win here at Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca. You're going to take a victory lap. We're going to step back one car to find Jason Isley. Jason, if I had told you at the beginning of this week that you would come up a car length short after passing somebody in the dirt between 9 and 10, what would you have said?
I think I would have been off in the dirt myself. So that was pretty surprising to stay that close to Lawrence. He's been so fast. The Honda's been so dominant the last 4 years. We really didn't think bringing the Yaris here we'd have that much for him. This is the last race for this Yaris. It's going to get crushed. It's aged out. So we're real happy to get Toyota back on the podium. So really excited. Couldn't be happier getting second place.
Now the pass in the dirt, it looked like Lawrence might have had a little bit of a slide. Something happened there in the rainy curve. You went out into the dirt and recovered. Talk about that incident.
He was a little bit loose on the rainy curve every time we went through there, and he got really loose, and it looked like it was going to snap back. I had room to stay on the pavement when it looked like the car was going to snap back. I said, I don't want to get collected, so I went for the dirt and figured that was safe. I didn't think he'd gather it back up that quickly, so I was surprised when he was right back on me.
So the question Randy Pobes is asking in my ears right now is, if it was going to get crushed anyway, did you have any thoughts on that last lap about preserving the car?
No, because it's a lot more work to take the parts off I want to save. And it's a lot easier rolling the trailer in one piece, and I wouldn't want to take Lawrence out that way. I know he worked real hard, put a lot of money in that car, and I don't want to see them, I wouldn't want to beat him that way.
Now, it looked to me like you had a different approach into the corkscrew than Lawrence did. It looked like you were hanging out a little bit and pivoting the car at the beginning. Was that giving you a better run down the hill to make that margin up?
I was just kind of using my old solo routes, trying to shorten the distance up there. I couldn't get a fast left-hand turn if I stayed to the right. I couldn't get the car shut down. So by just going straight, connecting the dots, cutting the distance off, it seemed like I could gain a little bit there.
Well, a great race for you. Congratulations on the podium finish, silver at the SCCA National Championship Runoffs.
Thank you.
All right, one more driver we need to grab. Is this Steve?
Yeah.
A great third place run here. It looked like you kind of got left on an island. The leaders in front of you, the guys behind you banging around. You just got to go turn some laps today.
Yeah, I sure did. It was kind of a cruise to third place. I just didn't have anything for the guys up front. Greg caught up for me momentarily, and I said I'm having none of that, and put some distance between us, and then it was, like you said, pretty much clear track except for a few lapping cars.
Well, big congratulations to you for the third place, the bronze medal here. Steve Hussey, third in H production. Congratulations on the podium.
Oh, thanks a lot. I really would like to say thanks to 3 crew members. My engineer, Andrew Armistead, did a fantastic job on the car. The mechanic, Noel Hayward, and my best friend from 7th grade has been helping me out, Tim Connors. So thanks to the 3 of them.
All right, we're going to send it back upstairs. 1 to go here at Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca. Formula Atlantic's up next.
All right, some happy winners and top 3 finishers in H production. Congratulations to Lawrence Loshak, our gold medalist in H production here at the 2014 SCCA National Championship Runoffs. He was pressed hard the whole way. I don't know why you'd take the second place car and send it to the crusher in H production.
For those of us.
But Jason Isley saying, well, there's things we want to take off it. Like the unibody apparently has seen better days.
There you go.
But the key parts, the drivetrain, I imagine will live to fight another day.
Yes, sir.
So there you go. Stephen Hussey third, as we heard from him. Greg Galper and Tom Tuttle, your top 5. Then Gordon Jones in that BMW 1600. Ron Bartel, one of our GoPro hero of the race for his efforts coming back from a couple of incidents. Mike Cummings, Gary Whitman, and Michael Miller, your top 10. Very entertaining race.
It was a lot of fun, and for me, a walk down memory lane.
Sure.
With all those great cars that I've had and autocrossed and raced over the years.
Absolutely true. So Loshak with his crew on the victory lap here at Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca. Always a great memory to grab a gold medal in the SCCA runoffs, no matter where or when, certainly here at this legendary facility on this very special weekend of racing. For Randy Popes, Hayward Wagner, we congratulate our champion in H production, Lawrence Loshak. We will be right back with our final event of the 2014 SCCA National Championship Runoffs.
The 2014 SCCA National Championship Runoffs are being brought to you in HD by Mazda. Conviction, creativity, courage. This is the Mazda way. And by Hankook, driving emotion.
Some people go to enormous lengths in the name of safety, like the inventor of the flame-resistant racing suit, Bill Simpson. Courageous engineering is also the Mazda way, and why the 2014 Mazda 3 has an available class-exclusive suite of 8 safety features and a top safety rating. Because when it comes to safety, you can never go too far. This is the 2014 Mazda 3. What do you drive?
This is Kenny. Kenny is a dentist, but he races autocross on the weekends. But he's not thinking about his tires right now. Kenny buys all his tires from TireRack.com. Using their exclusive test track reviews, he knows he's always getting the right tires for his car. But Kenny's not thinking about tires right now. Kenny's thinking, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. This is awesome. TireRack.com, proud sponsor of the Tire Rack SCCA National Solo Program.
The machines and their manufacturers span the planet. This is no spec series. Diversity breeds excellence and brings battle. Ride with the best and test the iconic circuits of North America. No pit stops, no quarter. The world watches and knows this is how racing